I think this is fun for the whole family here. Chris Cuomo, the News Nation. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I was like, Max? No, it's News Nation. It's not that insane. But I mean, he's clearly like his brother, who it was reported in the New York Times has been having phone calls with Donald Trump. He's not just taking Bill Ackman money, Republican donor money, Andrew Cuomo. He's literally talking to Donald Trump, and just a few months ago was trying to get Democratic primary voters to support him. Chris Cuomo, since having to leave CNN in disgrace because he was caught helping his brother as a supposed when his brother was governor in New York and was dealing with scandal due to the fact that he sexually harassed all those women. Chris was helping him despite being at CNN as a supposedly neutral journalist. He had to leave at that point. He's landed at News Nation, and I guess for the past 6 months, he's been just doing right-wing stuff for the most part. A lot of pro-Israel content. You see a lot of people who are down on their luck in the media business auditioning for Zionists, and he's a part of that. And this is him falling for a deep fake while doing what I just said, auditioning for Zionists. He tweeted out this video saying, "Nothing about Hamas or people burning Jews' cars, but a Sydney Sweeney ad? Deserve time on the floor of Congress? What happened to this party? Fight for small business, not for small culture wars." What he tweeted out was a video of AOC on the floor of Congress talking about the Sydney Sweeney jeans campaign ad. Actually, it was a deep fake. Do we have this video? This is what he fell for and tweeted out as a news person.
And I'll just say it says literally watermarked Klonos.io parody 100% made with it.
Okay, campaign is spelled campaign. Like everything about this is so obvious that even I think people's grandparents could pick this out, but not Chris Cuomo.
I've made mistakes like this on social media as a news professional, and it's always been when I've been extraordinarily high.
I saw the original Instagram video on Instagram, and there were a lot of people in the comment section falling for it. So I think the lesson here is that, like, Chris Cuomo, as a supposed professional news guy, should have known better than your grandma and grandpa on Facebook and Instagram, honestly.
Okay, let's play this video and see how convincing it is, though. Yeah. I'm not even going to be this generous. This is so obvious.
It's not convincing.
It's not. Convincing.
I just want to suggest, like, listen to what she says here and ask yourself, do you think he even watched this?
Well, that's probably actually Occam's razor.
Here it is.
Sydney Sweeney looks like an Aryan goddess, and the American Eagle Jeans campaign is blatant Nazi propaganda. I mean, fuck. Watching that sultry little temptress squeeze into a Canadian tuxedo, 3 sizes too small, with her bouncy little fun bags on the screen.
Okay.
I think we got this.
So I think he did watch this. But I want to push back on the first thing you said about News Nation not being like, bottom tier slop. If you actually go through News Nation's video feed channel page, like half of the stuff is about aliens. Like News Nation it's very much like a conspiracy where like the Newsmax is just mostly like MAGA stuff. Like News Nation is like half the time just alien things. And, a lot of people, it's not about like not being able to tell AI videos from like reality from real videos. It's about not wanting to. Like a lot of people blame AI, like how convincing AI videos to obscure the truth, which is that a lot of people, A, don't want to be able to tell fact from fiction, and B, those who can oftentimes are left unable to or unwilling to because like they are like so desperate to prove their politics correct. So like there's a lot of incentive that are beyond the technology's ability to convince people, and why people are like not able to or unwilling to like tell these videos from like reality. And this is just an example of Chris Cuomo, like again, like finding something that that supports his political opinion and then wanting to share it before like thinking like, but is this real?
It's the Sasha quote about, never believe the anti-Semites are completely unaware of the absurdity of their replies. They know that their remarks are frivolous. They are amusing themselves for as their adversary, who is obliged to use words responsibly since he believes in words. That's the asymmetrical warfare of combating right-wing slop and propaganda. But it betrays their true primitive brain obsessions, like right at the beginning of what the content of the AI AOC is even saying there. It's a sexual fantasy.
Yeah.
And they're just perverts. It's astounding to me. They wanted to hear AOC say something sexual about a woman, and then they got to imagine them kissing. And then they have all of this, the right's psychosexual fixation with AOC is something to behold, where they both hate her, but they also find her titillating, and their hatred is titillating to them. There was that ProPublica piece, I think some years ago, where they looked into the DHS and their private meme page, and they were all artistic depictions, basically, of her getting sexually assaulted by Border Patrol. That's how fascist and far right people use sexual violence as a tool of their political ambitions. We have AOC's response, right? I just want to quickly play that, and then we can play Chris Cuomo. He had to address this on air because he got fooled by an AI video. AOC responded saying, "This is a deep fake, dude. Please use your critical thinking skills. At this point, you're just reposting Facebook memes and calling it journalism." Now, I haven't seen this response yet from him. Is he humbled in any way? Is he reassessing some of his journalistic
He seems very sorry.
ethics? Oh, okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
You listening? I was wrong. I was tweeting today and saw a clip of AOC saying that Sydney Sweeney ad was racist. And so I replied to it and I said, why do you care about this and ignore what matters most? Why, in all the times that you've called on Israel to stop, why have you never told Hamas to stop?
Why are we already talking about fucking Israel?
Yeah.
But that was his monologue that he probably already wrote to respond to the deepfake video he got fooled by, and he just tacked on an apology at the beginning.
Was there even an apology? I was wrong. He didn't apologize.
Or the acknowledgement at the beginning. But then this is, if it were true, this is the reason why she's so wrong.
It's actually your fault. I was confused.
It's better than true. It confirms my biases.
Yes.
That's why they fall for this stuff. Reality for the conservative, for the reactionary, is oftentimes very unsatisfying because it doesn't conform to their bigotries. And so AI has been a very useful tool for them to be able to visualize and give a lot of real shape to they're just bigotries that otherwise they have to wait for the next Daily Wire movie to come out to be able to point to women in men's sports or vice versa.
Right.
In all the times that you've called on Israel to stop, why have you never told Hamas to stop? Told Hamas to surrender? Why would you ignore the St. Louis attack on that Jewish guy who had his car bombed? AOC tweeted back
IDF
and said,
soldier, not
dude,
Jewish guy.
Team pause it, yeah.
That's Sydney.
IDF, so thank you, Brian.
If it's all the same to you, why don't you just deep fake a video of her doing all of that, and then it's the same? Why don't you just do that?
And this thing of people who criticize Israel have to be at the forefront of condemning violence that is sort of engendered by in the wake of a fucking genocide. Where is Chris Cuomo's segment on the young Palestinian boy that was killed by his fucking landlord, or the Burlington students that were shot by Zionists? He never devoted any of his time to that stuff.
Right.
It's not sincere. This is about, I mean, he's responding to something she never said to say, why didn't you say these other things? First of all, the House is not in session right now. So if you're in media and you cover politics, you probably that should have been the first tip. But also her talking about her breasts on the floor of Congress might have been your second clue. But it doesn't matter because it's square peg, round hole. Who cares? I'll jam it in anyway because I wanted to talk about how she's an anti-Semite because I'm auditioning. No, I didn't mean it like that. Because I'm auditioning. I'm auditioning for Zionists because they're losing the narrative, and there are a lot of people who there's a lot of funded, lots of money on the Zionist side, on the Israel lobby side that will reward me if I continue to say this garbage about folks who are opposing the genocide.
Also, to your
and also
earlier
to be clear, his response is that he's criticizing her for calling him out online now, for correcting her. Like, if I'm not, because can we just play that again at the very end? Because I was wondering, I thought he was just like saying I was wrong and this is what I had said and this is why I had said it. But now he's shoehorning in and criticizing because she didn't actually say anything ridiculous on the House floor that he thought she said. His thing is, why would she spend the time to correct me instead of talking about Israel and telling Hamas? Like, he's trying to use her correcting him now as a waste of time and how she shouldn't be correcting him. Like, just play the end of it there. That's what I think he was about to say.
He did something wrong and is blaming to somebody else. He spread misinformation about her and is blaming her for responding to it, which actually is quite similar to the Israeli government that he's gratuitously defending in this monologue.
You're listening? I was wrong. I was tweeting today and saw a clip of AOC saying that Sydney Sweeney ad was racist. And so I replied to it and I said, why do you care about this and ignore what matters most? Why, in all the times that you've called on Israel to stop, why have you never told Hamas to stop? Told Hamas to surrender?
Yeah, because she's not an idiot. Like, okay.
Why would you ignore the St. Louis attack on that Jewish guy who had his car bombed? AOC tweeted back and said, dude, that's a deep fake, that Sydney Sweeney ad. You suck, in so many words.
She didn't say that.
Wait, why not give her a direct quote?
Yeah.
She said she called out your competence.
Yeah.
In posting Facebook memes as journalism.
She's so immature, she called me a doo-doo head. I saw an AI video of it.
Just also quickly to your earlier point, Emma, like what the Israel, like in calling on people to like, condemn Hamas or to like, jump through hoops to prove loyalty to Israel. It's also not just about, auditioning for Zionists. And it kind of like interweaved with your like psychosexual point where it allows people like this to demand things from like leftists, to demand things from like people of color, to demand things from activists, to demand that they jump through the hoops that they want to. And so it's very appealing for him, I think, for a Chris Cuomo type to, make these demands of AOC and have them be treated like legitimate things that she should be doing for him. And you see that a lot. There's like always, sometimes it's very gendered, but a lot of times it is heavily racialized, but it always plays out across like class lines. Just like, you're being forced to do what we want you to do in order to prove that, you're not a bigot, that you're sufficiently pro-Israel. It's a way for people who don't have power over like some people, like in the case of Chris Cuomo having power over, AOC, to feel powerful over her by demanding that she jump through some of these hoops in the only way that like would be, viable for someone like that to do.
100%. And for the audience that's watching, it is like it gets to be a sort of wish fulfillment in and of itself, in the same way that like when Fox News takes an opportunity to yell at a young woman, it's like when it's wish fulfillment for the grandpas that watch Fox News who feel like, their non-binary grandkid is pissing them off and they have an outlet for it in media.
That's proxy for scolding their niece.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They got me. AI. It was really good, and it did seem like something she would say.
It was really good.
Sorry, it did not seem like something she would say. It seemed like something like anybody who watched it would know it was some sort of like fetish video.
Yeah.
Stop drooling, brother. Close your mouth, brother. Just
what do you mean? It's something, he's like, it sounds like something she would say because I've never heard her speak before. I was too busy sexualizing her in my mind.
God, close the Pornhub tab.
I know. Like, I mean, I guess it runs in the family.
So I thanked AOC for correcting me. But I then reminded her, she ignored the part of the tweet that mattered, okay?
Oh, no!
Not Sweeney, which really should have never been a thing, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. Why did AOC, the most popular Democrat in the country, powerful, reportedly ignore what I asked about calling on Hamas to surrender to end the war they started?
Because you're a joke.
Never said
this woman's ignoring
that
me.
I could find. Think about that. She also ignored my question about saying nothing about the American.
Let's just take for folks who aren't caught up to speed in almost 2 years into this genocide. Israel does not give a fuck about the hostages.
Yeah.
Immediately after October 7th, the right wing, which is in the driver's seat and has been in Israel, said, "Do not let the hostages' families get in the way of us doing our extermination campaign on Gaza." That has been clear from the beginning, and it is, I think, complicity in genocide to run a news organization or news program like Chris Cuomo does when your brother's doing protecting Bibi Netanyahu from war crimes. It is complicity in genocide to keep running with this "what do you care about the hostages" thing. But it is like one of the last sort of branches of Zionist propaganda, where even Tom York, where he's like, it's a really tough time, but I don't know why people don't ask for Hamas to let go of the hostages. They have over and over again.
Yeah.
And why doesn't Israel release the thousands and thousands of people that they have in fucking prisons, in torture camps? The truth is that Chris Cuomo doesn't care about that. No Zionist cares about that. They like that because they are fascists. Anyway, here's a little bit more Chris Cuomo.
I mean, how much more of this do we need? Are we good?
Yeah, I think we got it all. I thought that was amazing. I can't believe she would focus on correcting me for sharing something completely wrong that smears her and takes her and transforms her body and words into things that she never said, which I said she had said. Why would she focus on that and not the bullshit I threw into my tweet? Give me a break, buddy.
I can't believe she would ignore me. She won't come on my show. Even when I reference Israel, she won't jump through the hoops that I want her to jump through. Yeah. I don't feel big and powerful enough as a man. She doesn't care about hostages. You see it. You see how easy it is for like these kinds of guys to weaponize Israel to get whoever they want to exert power over in politics to jump through hoops for them. It doesn't really matter what hoops they are. The fact that they can demand this of AOC is, I think, a big driver in stuff like this.
It's politics of domination, and Israel is like at the vanguard of it, and so it's a really great vehicle for all of these other kind of fascistic or controlling fantasies, and it's often by men.
Right. Also, that whole line of why didn't you ask Hamas to release the hostages is like so like not even like even as propaganda is not even relevant anymore. Everyone in the world can see what's going on now in Gaza. Anyone who is trying to lie to themselves, except for Zionists, the most hardcore Zionists, not like your everyday person. Your everyday voter right now is looking at what's going on between Israel and Gaza, and they're seeing starving Palestinians and malnourished Palestinian children, and they're saying, wow, this is wrong. No matter where they were a year ago, 2 years ago, what they thought a year ago, 2 years ago, the current belief among the average person, the average global citizen, not just even American, is that the people of Gaza are being starved to death, and this is wrong. So like to even like trot out this piece of propaganda is like so outdated even. It's because they don't have anything else.
Yeah, it is. Trilly Flops writes in, Chris Cuomo was watching that AOC AI deepfake the same way Jeffrey Toobin attends Zoom calls. It was pretty good.
Seems like something she would say.
Ramona Frankenstein says, AOC's silence on Hamas is deafening is a hell of a way to say, I got too horned up about getting to yell at a hot woman that I didn't realize I fell for the most obvious AI slop imaginable. Verbonia says, the Cuomo brothers smoking grannies and groping fannies since 1970.
I mean, people like the Cuomos are just for sale.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious there. Seth Phillip, PhD, it also had a watermark that says, this is AI. Make the fun have fun again, says Chris Cuomo has such a creepy hate boner for AOC, and it's only gotten worse since his sexually harassing brother lost to Mamdani. He needs to be committed.
I mean, look, that piece of fake media was like a guided missile toward any like 60-year-old boomer like Chris Cuomo. You have not only Sydney Sweeney, but also a other attractive woman that you want to like scold.
Right.
Like that's flypaper.
JR in Philly, Brandon is 100% accurate. These people, well, most people have no idea what confirmation bias is. Not your state rep.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah. Not your clever. Not your state rep. You're absolutely right. AI responding to people saying, no, Trump is doing a good job. Squirt Cobain, let's be for real. Chris is a gross freak, just like his brother, and was almost definitely searching for AOC deepfake, hoping for something a little more titillating. All right, opening up the phone line, 646-257-3920 is the phone number.
Watch Harry Emden.
Emden.
Did you guys cover that already? I didn't even know about that. I missed that. When did that happen? 2 days ago? 3 days ago?
They covered it yesterday, yeah. And
There
also,
was a gentleman on Harry Emden yesterday on CNN.
that was a part of his 40-minute rambling phone call to CNBC, who was like, even the conservative guy there was trying to maybe pin him down on tariffs because the money people are freaked out. It's like the best chance we have right now is that they're like
A business plot.
a business plot, and business people got their tax breaks, and now they're like going to shut the door on Trump because of tariffs.
Maybe they should try giving him a 24-karat apple engraved brick like Tim Cook did.
We'll get to that after this call. I want to
Unbelievable.
cover that. That's a
really-
good reminder.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.